Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Hot Chips Video Game Podcast, the only gaming podcast that you're listening to right this moment.
True story.
It might not be true.
Wow.
Who's listening to two at one
Double
time?
podcast?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Good on you.
That's confusing. Don't do that. Just listen to this one.
Yes.
Turn the other one off.
Unless you think they work well together and it's like we're bouncing back between
Like you're listening to a classical music podcast and they've just got they're just demonstrating some classical music and then you've got us in the other one.
Yeah.
It's good.
Or they don't like what we talk about, so they've got us on mute, but they like our faces, and they're actually listening to the other podcast, or vice versa.
Which
Maybe
case,
we're the
I'm okay with that as well, actually.
There's more people in the other podcast that are just matching the voices to us.
Hilarious.
And on today's podcast, we're going to be discussing Fallout 4, of course.
Twinning.
20s.
Oh, the shirts.
The shirts.
It's not 20s.
Not 20s.
No,
But we
not
could
20s.
bet it.
Good
But
tip.
first of all, we are going to just jump on typical catch-up time. We're going to discuss some events coming up. Maybe even having a new little section we're going to call Nintendo Time. Nintendo Time. Which may not be an every fortnight thing, but we feel there's a decent amount of news coming in from Nintendo regularly these days.
Let's make it every fortnight.
Sometimes it's going to be interesting, but we'll do it.
Can we talk about the fact that I haven't finished the Zelda game on one of them?
Ooh.
Anyway, let's catch up.
Let's catch up. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of interesting things happening in the New Zealand gaming community in the last fortnight and the fortnight to come. The first thing is in Wellington, we have a November StreetPass, 28th of November, 2 p.m. usual place outside Jelly Hi-Fi.
I'll be there.
What's the food court called?
Oh, it's got a name. Taste on Willis.
Taste on Willis.
Taste on Willis,
Yeah.
if you want to Google where it is.
So we all meet outside there. You can meet the chippies,
Meet
the
the
hot
chippies.
The chippies, the chippies.
I can beat you at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Or I can beat you at Mario Kart.
Or I can lose to you at Mario Kart.
Reigning champ at the
Yeah,
Street
well,
Pass
so they haven't
event.
attended.
Good job.
Reigning champ.
What about Smash? You good?
No. I am
Actually,
not
a
good at
friend of
Smash.
mine's coming and wants to learn to play Smash or something.
Oh, cool.
He's
No,
just
I'm
who it is.
I'm
So
Smash.
Let's
Happy
do that.
kind of person.
Okay.
Cool. The other...
there.
Does anyone have Smash?
You
I've got
can
Smash.
cross-play.
Yeah,
You can cross-play. So
Okay.
as long as somebody has it, you can... all the things in it.
Shit, play with it.
Which is a good reason to come to one of these meetups actually, because you can try out all the games that you don't own.
Yeah.
I don't know what's called crossplay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's called Download Play.
Download play.
Nintendo Download
Good
Play.
one. Do you have a 3DS/2DS?
Nintendo's so good at things.
And there's a LAN coming up on November 27th, going over to the 29th. It's LANFlat. So search up LANFlat. We'll have the link there. I believe it's Hamilton based.
Okay.
And it's these guys are really, really awesome dudes who run it. They also got all the Auckland lands as well, and they've got great names for themselves. They always make teams and things. Great guys to land with. So
What are they landing?
LANFlat.
What are they landing?
They're landing everything.
Everything.
But at
You're hitting
everything.
it first.
From all the
Doom
games.
1.
They do all the casual MOBAs. They do CS:GO. I think
Casual MOBA.
Is there such a thing?
MOBAs are casual.
Interesting.
Heroes.
It's easy.
Heroes.
Yeah, heroes. No, they play all the MOBAs. They play some CS:GO. They play a couple of shooters. I think, but honestly, it's like whatever's going on at the time.
Cool.
I don't think they're really like, oh, this one game is amazing. It's just everything. And then I wanted to mention Waikato University recently started up their own gaming club. Shout out to Tom Featonby who helped make that happen.
Cool.
One of the guys doing gaming nights, for instance.
Kind of like
great
the Auckland University.
Kind of,
gaming club,
yes.
yeah?
So what I was going to say here, so Waikato Uni is getting a gaming club, but he's making that up. Victoria University in Wellington is also getting a gaming club next year. They have their gaming club as the Victoria Engineering Club, but they're trying to break that off and make that more engineering focused and have a dedicated gaming club. So that's happening next year as well, and that's going to be joining the Otago Esports Club, which is coming up again next year, coming from the Gamers Central Club, and Canterbury. I forgot what they're called, something Canterbury Club, Canterbury University Gaming GC, whatever. They've got a gaming club, and so does the University of Auckland. So nearly all the tertiary institutions in New Zealand are getting gaming clubs now. It's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
And I can say a couple of them, specifically Otago and the University of Auckland and Victoria University, they're great at connecting and making inter-uni competitions and fun play stuff. So if you are at uni, get in touch with one of those clubs.
And if
get
you want to
involved.
find out more, are they Facebook-based groups?
They are Facebook-based.
That
Most of them are
means I can
Facebook-based
look them
groups.
below.
You can. Some of them are closed groups, though, so you're going to have to be
Yeah,
careful.
to ask to join.
Yeah.
Be interesting. My Republic at the NZGC event. So big news.
Oh.
Big news.
Oh.
The first ever televised gigantic esports event that's coming up in December.
The
December
revolution
6th
will
being
be
the
televised.
qualifiers, December 19th being the live televised event. This is the New Zealand Gaming Championships by My Republic, and it's going to be broadcast with Sky TV.
Oh wow, that is actually really big.
And there's currently going to be a live stream, maybe delayed because of the Sky TV kind of contract, whatever they're doing there. But it is League of Legends. The first one is League of Legends, and the guys who are in charge of it are trying to expand past there to Dota 2 and CSGO and a bunch of other awesome games. Maybe we'll get Heroes of the Swarm in there. Heroes of the Swarm. Blizzard, why?
Master, Heroes of the Storm.
Is this going to become a big thing? Are we going to see
Maybe.
more stuff going on?
Fingers crossed. Like this is a really big step up for that. Like it's going to be on a pop-up channel, and they're thinking of integrating it with Sky Sport later on down the track.
Do you think there's going to be some big complaints? Because I remember there was some live
ESPN.
on ESPN, and people were like, "Why is this on a sports channel?"
But
honestly,
equally so, there were people saying this is great.
Absolutely.
So, and a lot of not douchebaggy responses like, "Wow, I didn't know this is what it was like."
This is people not
which is
really
awesome, right? If we can educate some people that it's actually more than just some sweaty, stinky nerds in a basement, then that's great.
And everybody else going like, "Oh, it's crap! Get this off this channel." It's like if there's nothing else to watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think the problem
if there's
was.
nothing else to watch,
I think the problem was in that case. They put it on ESPN2, which was a massive sports station. And it was like a Sunday afternoon, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So it was like prime time.
There was nothing else.
But there would have been other stuff on. That's the thing. They would have got bumped.
But they would have. Oh, you don't think they would have had it on another channel?
I think they could. Like, what the other?
I'm pretty sure
but,
they did.
but ESPN2, I think ESPN 1 and 2 has a lot more. Like they go out to a lot more subscriptions. I'm not sure, but I think it's like having your basic sports package.
Yeah.
So like people might not have had 3, 4, 5. ESPN.
I followed a lot of the response, the internet response to that airing while I was watching it, and there didn't seem to be a lot of backlash of that nature. There wasn't a lot of I wish something else was on.
It was just like, what the hell is this?
On? So I'm not sure if it was because there was nothing else.
I don't know, but
I think it's good that Sky's putting it on.
Yeah, having a pop-up channel, it's like it's not keeping anyone.
Exactly. So pop-up channel this time, so it's not going to get in anyone's way. They're learning. They're evolving. NZGC League of Legends, big, massive tournament there. The prize pool is massive. I can't confirm what it is, but it's over 10k. And I don't know if that's all for one, but it might be. Prize distribution might be all for one, but it's definitely going to be thousands of dollars for that first place. And they're all being flown up for free and getting accommodation and everything. These are teams around New Zealand. So the first 5, I don't know if I might just finish off. First 5 have already been selected around New Zealand, but there is a qualifier tournament on December 6th. So go visit the NZGC event Facebook page and you can sign up your team, your League of Legends team for that. And if you win that online wildcard qualifier, you will be the 6th team to come in and you'll be flying out to Auckland to be part of this televised event in the studio floor, 5v5, you're all on each other.
I almost wish I liked League of Legends.
Almost. More games coming. It's a very exciting opportunity for New Zealand. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, I hope it does too. Let's support it.
Yeah. And the last thing, I'll let you guys take over.
Yeah, so on to, let's maybe have a bit of a Nintendo discussion.
Yeah,
cool.
Nintendo time.
So there was recently a Nintendo Direct, the first one since
E3.
Yeah, and it was a long one.
Well, it's interesting that obvious reasons that they stopped doing the Nintendo Direct was that they were run mainly by Iwata, and they were kind of his brainchild,
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they've finally got it back on board, and it looks like Japan got one, Europe got another, which we also got, and then America got another one.
Oh, wow.
So they really split it open this time with people from those specific countries running them. So we missed out on supposedly a great little sketch that Bill Trinan and Reggie Fils-Aimé put together. So I don't know how I feel about splitting it all off.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It is a bit strange.
Yeah.
Because we'd usually get Bill Trinan in the ones, not usually Reggie, but Bill Trinan would be in the previous ones. But I'm probably doubting.
Reggie was in Alan, I think.
No, you may have watched the American one then.
Ah, interesting.
But in the European one,
perhaps I did watch the American one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting.
But there were some interesting things on this direct. Like you said, it was definitely one of their longer ones, and they detailed all of the things that are coming for the rest of this year, and sort of touched on a couple of things popping in next year as well. One of them being a new playable character for Hyrule Warriors Legends, which is the Hyrule Warriors for the 3DS. That character has stirred up a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
That character being Linkle.
Oh,
what were you going to say?
I'm thinking about the Smash Brothers announcement.
Oh, no, that was
we'll talk about Linkle.
We'll talk about that too. Linkle.
What is Linkle?
What is it? What is the first thing that comes into your mind when I say Linkle?
There's a bunch of things, but one of the most prominent ones is probably like Pichu. Like Pichu is that mini version of Pikachu. I'm just thinking of like a really tiny and he's got his little Navi friend, and she's like, "Hey, listen," he's like, "I can fly you now."
There's almost that anyway because there's Toon Link. Toon Link is going to be in the Hyrule Warriors Legends as well.
Yeah.
Linkle is another character.
Yes.
There we go. So
That's terrible.
Linkle.
I would Link Hits.
That's better.
Like a little Smurfette.
The developers of Hyrule Warriors released a art book, I think it was, that detailed Linkle.
Yeah.
And that was over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago now. People were like, this is interesting, this is a character we've never heard of, it's just been created, and it wasn't even in the original Hyrule Warriors. And then when they unveiled the cover for Hyrule Warrior Legends for 3DS, there was a little bow, a bow and arrow, a crossbow, I think, in the background. And everyone was like, why is that floating all by itself? What's that doing there? Let's speculate. Hey, wait a minute, Linkle in this book you released had a crossbow. It actually had two. What's going on? Is it going to... They finally unveiled Linkle, which is, in all intents and purposes, is two things. It is a female version of Link, but also, in their words, is like a little sister to Link. Not in the actual family or familial way, but in more of the anime-inspired. It's just kind of like a little...
The senpai relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they use both terms though. The little sister version of Link, but also
I feel like
the girl version of Link.
They're not related. They're not going to be love interests.
No. They're effectively... I assume the way that they're going to put it, this is what I'm hoping. I think they will end up putting her in the next big Zelda game.
Oh, really?
And you will get to choose between male Link and female Link, and those will be...
Because they have already said that that's what they want Link to be in that game. When they announced Zelda on Wii U, they said, we don't want this. This isn't Link. This is you as the character.
Well, that's every Link. Yeah. That's why at the start of every Zelda game you can put in the name. You don't have to be Link. So I think this will just be a way for them to take that the next step and be able to let you choose the sex of your character at the start as well. Because there's never a romantic interest. No. And even if there was, that's fine as well. So what, let's say female Link gets into a relationship with Zelda, that's fine. Yeah. That can be canon for that story. Yeah. All of the stories are separate.
I see it as, it's kind of similar to what Adventure Time does with, they've got Finn and Jake, and then there's Fiona and Kate.
Yes, I love Fiona and Kate.
Fantastic. That's just like kind of the alternate universe version of Finn and Jake. The female and all the characters backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like they took a step forward and then just a tiny step back when they were like, there's a female version of Link. Yeah, but she's smaller.
Yeah, and
she's
the
like
internet kind of doesn't really know whether they're like, yay, or why'd you call it that?
Well, I think it's universal. No one likes the name. Yeah. There could have been a better name than Linkle.
They should have just called
it
like
Linkleberg.
They could have just called her Link.
Link should have just been female Link.
Yeah.
But they specifically stated it is a brand new character. So in their world, Link and Linkle could meet up.
See that's I'm right. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that can that's for this world. Yeah. In other games, absolutely, it would probably be the same. Where you can name the character and you can just choose whether it's the male body or the female body. Yeah, and that's kind of that.
Yeah, I think that would have been smart.
Yeah, but everyone's upset. People are like, I can't believe Nintendo are sort of crumbling to the social justice warriors' cries for equality in a Zelda series when Link is a pre-made male character, and then you've got the other side, which is they're upset that... Now, what was the other one I heard? They were upset, not the fact that they're doing a female character, but it's kind of the bare minimum they could deal with. And then there's people who are just happy that there's now going to be an option in some form, even just in this one side spin-off game.
I'm just saying it's a ladder group.
I think it's great.
I mean, it's fine, like... I would probably be pissed if they were like, it is female Link, like you can just be female as Link. Like I can see like that is you're just doing that to have a female version in there, but making it an entirely new character is the right way to go.
But isn't that still fine? Like that's like with Fallout, you can now choose to be a female.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not an iconic character that you live with. And I can see why you'd be mad about that, but I still think it's important to have that gender presence.
They tried to make a female Mario.
But there's nothing wrong with it, really, you know?
Weird.
Yeah, it would be a bit weird if you were about to load up Super Mario Galaxy 3 and you can just turn Mario Mario.
Muriel.
That's strange.
That would be, that would feel a bit like pandering, I guess. So I can understand some people might think of this as pandering, but then yes, Link is iconic, but not because of his character. He's got no character. He is literally just a look.
Voice.
He's just a look.
That's true.
He is a look.
That's true.
It's wrong with that. But he's still that. He's still an iconic look, but it's more his garb.
I was going to say, is his tunic the look? You know, maybe. And that's the thing. That's why it shouldn't be a problem that they're going to be able to do this. It's like the character is a nothing character. It just happened. Well, he's not. He's got no personality except for hints of it in some of those.
Wind Waker,
exactly.
Pretty character.
Wind Waker and Skyward Sword are the only ones I really felt that he had some character. But in general, it's all the side characters that have the more expressive sort of stories.
Anyway, exciting to see what they do.
There's something else that you were looking forward to or enjoyed.
Well, I was actually going to say, speaking of Zelda, then obviously we had the remake of Twilight Princess,
which is interesting.
Yes.
Thoughts on that?
I'm very excited for it. I haven't played the original, so I'm very excited for it. And it's been on my list of things to go back and do, which is as long as this room. So I'm really excited for it. And I think that it's like someone's listening to me up in the gaming ether, going, "Oh, she wants to play that. We should remake that." And I just keep getting to play the
collective consciousness is listening.
So I'm quite excited to play it.
It looks good too.
Looks good.
Which is funny because again, people came out totally against how it looked. They're like, it looks exactly like the original. What are they doing? And then they put them side by side, and people were complaining, "No, that isn't what it looked like originally." It's like that you're looking at the original.
You're being idyllic.
You're remembering it in a different way. Your brain has filled in some of that.
It's a shame.
So it looks great. 1080p. It looks like all of the textures have been up-resed, and it's all being done by a studio in Melbourne.
Oh, really?
Which means it's not taking away any time or resources from any other Nintendo developers.
That's interesting.
We're not going to get another Batman, are we?
No, well, this is from the ground up, and it looks like it's they've looked after it. It looks like it's been looked after. I was recently trying to do a playthrough through the Dolphin emulator. I own it, so that's okay. It's my own ROM. And it looked great at high res, but the textures weren't up to scratch. And then you had to always deal with the fact that you're trying to connect a Wiimote to a Bluetooth dongle to a PC and all these kind of things. So this, I ended up just giving up with it. But this will have me back in there. Because it looks like, from what I can see, is it's a port of the GameCube version, not the Wii version.
All right.
Which I haven't really seen many people discussing.
No.
But that means a few things. The world's going to be flipped. Because what they did when they made the GameCube version, Link was left-handed. When they made the Wii version, they flipped the rendering, so Link was right-handed because most people held the Wiimote in their right hand. So I think they're going back to the original, so everything will feel kind of new to me.
Pandering to right-handers.
So it's interesting. So it should be pretty good. It looks great. It looks like they've tidied it all up. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh wow, I'm certainly excited to play that. Do we get a date on that?
No, it's I think it was might be March or April next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, before the
so yes, we did get one because they're also releasing the Wolf Link amiibo alongside it.
Correct.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to do much in the way with the remake of Wind Waker. When they released Wind Waker HD, they added a few extra bits and pieces. I'm not sure if they're going to be adding those in this time.
Okay.
Because I think what everyone would be happy with is maybe a shortening of that first 4 or 5 hours, which is basically 4 or 5 hours of tutorial.
That's as far as I got.
Which is so painful.
Too much.
Wow.
Too much tutorial and I quit.
Way too much. If they find a way to subvert that and just so you can go straight into the story, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be good. Listen, please. To this podcast, I know you're listening to so yes, but of course the other thing that came out of that direct that I'm really excited about is the Fire Emblem, new additions to that story, and I'm kind of curious about the dynamic that they've got going on between the 2 titles that they're going to release at once. So is it 3?
Ooh.
There are 3 stories.
It's 2 titles though, right?
2 titles with a downloadable 3rd story.
Oh, that's right. And if you've got both of them, you get a discount on that download.
That's right. Or you can just buy one big pack where you get all in one.
Correct. And so that's going to be me.
You can get all 3.
I would like to. It's one of my top 5 games ever.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Actually, maybe even top 3, but it's a story for another day. So I'm curious about the way that they get those stories to link up, because I've kind of like, when Pokemon X and Y came out, it was like this weird scenario where you're like, do I buy both? I know some people did buy both. Whereas with this, like, am I going to be dissatisfied as a gamer if I just buy one of those stories? Like,
so do you know how it splits off?
No, I'm not sure.
Alright, so there's both games have exactly the same start.
Right.
And there's a point where you choose sides. And if you choose one side, you have that one.
Right.
And if you choose the other side, you have that one.
So can you choose, because what separates them? So we've got Fates and the other one.
I can't remember the name
Can't
of
remember
it.
the name.
Yeah.
If you're buying the games though, does that mean you get the choice, or is the choice based on the game you
That's what I
buy?
was
The choice
saying.
is based on the game you buy. So you've bought the game, that choice will automatically be made for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think there was, in Japan, I don't know if they're going to, I think when you buy the big package, right, you can make the choice, because you've already got both stories now, and it's all connected together in a digital package. So you can actually make the choice and decide which way you want to go.
What's the third choice? Just not choosing.
The
I'm
third
going to
choice-
do my own thing.
The third choice is a completely different story, because one is like work with your family, one is work against your family, and then you've got another one which is like an overarching look at the entire struggle going on in that world.
Now I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I know, right?
The thing that it does differently, which I wouldn't, this is interesting, this is probably going to be a game where I want to play both.
Yes.
But other games do that. Other games make choices, or make a choice and make you do one thing, and you could theoretically go back and play a game a different way. Fallout 4 being a great example. You could play it completely differently. But I'm never going to go back and do that with other games. But knowing that there are two, like, I've bought one, now I can buy another one. It's a kind of incentive. You're paid more money to go back and play it again instead of already having it. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Either way,
it is, right?
Yeah.
I could totally imagine myself going through all 3 stories and paying for each one.
Yeah.
Quite happy to do that.
I like the fact that they've actually, it's enough of a change that it's been split off and they've made 2 complete stories. Gives a lot of, value to actually playing those stories. I really don't like fake decisions in video games.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that really bothers me. Like, Like, Mass Effect 3 was a classic example.
Well, you make a decision, but it doesn't.
You made decisions through the entire game the whole way, which didn't change anything in the outcome. And it was like,
where this is you actually get a game.
Yeah, a different story, like a completely different story. It's cool. I really like that, and I like when TV shows do that as well. Like they have one, they have like the series is running along, and then you get to like episode 7, and it's like 3 episodes back, but from a different person's point of view. Background story. I really like having those kind of different angles of things.
So I'm really excited about that.
Do the Fire Emblem stories link at all?
No.
No, okay, they are.
They're always entirely new kingdoms and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a family that runs through it though?
No, there's normally a character that has made an appearance in a bunch. I cannot remember.
Because in was it
Like
Awakening, the last one?
Yes.
Where they have, is it Marth?
Marth.
It was
That's
Marth's
the character.
Marth's descendant was
The
Crom.
No, I don't think there was any. Basically, Crom's daughter came back from the future disguised as Marth.
Yeah, but Marth was their legendary warrior. I thought he was the
Spoilers,
descendant.
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Well, I don't know. Was there a connection?
Yeah, because I thought they all had the crest in their eye.
I don't know.
If it's
I don't remember a
from the
crest in
game
the
or if
eye.
it's
Yeah,
actually a
Marth and Crom and Lucina. What's her name?
Lucina.
Lucina both had the eye.
I don't remember the crescent eye.
No, I think they had the family crest that's on in their pupil.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
I
that's
don't know why I would have made that up though.
No,
I don't know.
it's
You guys can
I
remember their
haven't, that's
names.
a long
Like,
time ago.
dude,
I remember them from Smash Brothers.
And
Yeah.
the girl who lived in
Some
the
of the
sand
characters
area,
are-
she's a princess.
Yeah.
The characters are great.
Yeah, they are
And
fantastic.
playing that game on
Knights
PS4
are OP.
just rips your heart out. Yeah. Frederick.
Yeah.
He's
So having 3 stories is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fantastic.
Did you ever delve into the DLC for Fire Emblem Awakenings?
No.
That's a good DLC.
I played lots of StreetPass battles.
Yeah.
But I have not done DLC.
They had some pretty good DLC. It was probably a little overpriced, but for what it was, because a lot of it was basically you're paying for a cheat. You'd be like, this is the level you do if you want to get a lot of money. This is the level you want to do if you want a lot of XP and stuff like that. So it was fine.
I'm always really afraid to download Nintendo things because I've got that weird, I know I can't fit anything else in my Wii U and I'm scared I'm going to fill out my 3DS mind.
Plus, it's never attached to an account, so what happens if you lose your
it's
console.
terrifying
Yeah,
time. I always buy hard copies.
It is weird, yeah.
Yeah. And so then the last thing that came out of the Nintendo Direct that pretty much tried to break the internet was, of course, the addition of the Final Fantasy character into
Cloud.
He's
got
someone mentioned the name quickly.
Like everyone lost their nuts and was
I
like,
am really
Where are my nuts
confused about that.
They're gone. Nuts
I was
gone.
going to swear, but I didn't.
Lost their
Yeah.
lost their shit. You can say that.
I was,
It's all right.
maintaining my.
That's weirder when you lose your nuts.
That's way weirder than losing your shit.
Anyway.
God, I just lost my nuts the other day. Did you see that Cloud announcement?
Anyway, the internet lost their minds, which is what I mean to say.
Oh, that's the
Here we go.
Weak
Lost their
nuts. There was a
minds.
mix between weak nuts and
nuts.
lost their minds.
Yes.
About
Cloud
this
as the
edition.
brawl.
Yeah, and so
Phoenix Cloud confirmed.
there's two things at play here that I don't really understand. One is people's love for Final Fantasy, and the other one is Super Smash Brothers. But apparently, people are really passionate about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a big connection with Cloud.
Yeah, well.
I really loved when they added Ryu from Street Fighter. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was very
Yeah.
cool.
But I mean, Cloud looks pretty cool. He's got a cool moveset.
Oh yeah, he looks badass. Like that's cool. But
And is that sort of hinting at maybe that we'll see Final Fantasy VII Remake in some form, either on the NX or Wii U?
That would be pretty cool.
Because
That
the
would be pretty
NX is
awesome,
going to
yeah.
be out by the time Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I thought it had an exclusive deal.
Exactly. So it's
maybe.
exclusive. It's a timed exclusive
Right.
for the PS4, and then it's going to be releasing on PC and Xbox One. And after that timed exclusive, by the time this comes out and the timed exclusive period passes, NX is going to be out.
Yeah.
It'll absolutely be out. Is this because this isn't because they're doing the Smash ballot as well, so you can vote on who you want.
Yeah.
This has got nothing to do with that. This is just out of nowhere.
it's kind of random.
Yeah, no one was
well, it's
expecting
not
this.
random. It's can't be random.
Honestly, like from my opinion, I wasn't surprised at all. When I saw that, I felt like it was natural, and there were a bunch of reasons why. The first one being, this is what Nintendo does. They partner with other Japanese companies and bring their popular characters into Brawl. I was like, I would be expecting Cloud to be in Brawl,
The same
and
as
not
Snake.
earlier.
Nothing came of that.
Huh?
Same as Snake.
Simple Snake. It's like,
Well,
it's like
which
this has happened
He was in the
before.
GameCube one or the Wii one?
He's in
GameCube, right?
He was in Brawl.
He was recently in the last Brawl.
He was
wasn't
in the Wii one.
he? Yeah.
Was it the Wii one?
Yeah.
Oh. Because I know, because there was the exclusive Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes only on GameCube, so that might have been a throwback to that.
I'm sure it's Brawl.
But anyway,
I'm sure.
And honestly, like when I saw it, I honestly thought that Cloud was a Nintendo character. Like it just clicked in my head. I was like, oh, isn't Cloud? Why hasn't he been in Brawl all along? And everyone else was like, what's happening?
PlayStation. It's like a PlayStation icon.
Yeah, no, it's a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was an icon, but for some reason I associate it with Nintendo
Right.
because I see the Wii and then I looked at what the graphics were like in Final Fantasy VII. I was like. For some reason it just clicked there, and I just wasn't surprised. But even then, it just kind of makes sense to me in my head. Everyone was just going crazy.
They lost their nuts.
They lost their nuts. I think that's a new saying. I think
They dropped the ball.
they dropped their nuts is another one.
Yeah. They didn't though.
No.
That's weird.
They dropped their shit.
They dropped their shit, lost their nuts.
Moving
Who's
on.
holding shit?
So that's a bit of a catch up on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We're gonna like we
Was
said.
that the first Nintendo time?
That was Nintendo.
We
time.
didn't even
Yeah.
introduce it.
We did. We
did.
seen
We
Nintendo.
did.
time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we're gonna try and do this kind of Nintendo time chat every time we
Nintendo
film the podcast. And
Nintendo.
hopefully there'll be enough news to talk about. But if you want us,
We'll
to
make
talk
it up.
about
We're gonna make up stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Or if you want us to talk about anything, then perhaps
Yeah,
leave a
let us
comment
know.
and we can talk about your favourite Nintendo game,
Yeah.
whatever you like
Super
from
Mario
that.
Galaxy
I
3.
have my top
Yeah.
5
Anyway.
Game Boy Advance. That'll be my good stuff. I'll
Well, it's a good time to start talking about open world games.
Yeah.
Are they too big?
Are
And
they too
are we
open?
salty
They're
about
too
that?
open.
Now they're too
Are we
open.
salty
There's going
about
to be a statement. It's a whole. It's something we're salty about. So we have
Okay.
to say open world games are
They're too open. Open world games are too open.
That's our salty topic.
I'm not salty about that.
I
I'm
am.
going to come to the
I,
defense.
Good.
that's
We
weird
need to
because
do
it's
that.
mostly
Yeah.
affecting you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
You didn't
weird.
explore
You
Fallout 4. You jump in there and you don't know what's going on. I hate that about games, and it forces you to explore them. And I'm not happy with the fact that I have to know basically like half of the mechanics in the game to enjoy it and to start playing it. That really frustrates me.
I jumped straight from playing Fallout up to where I have into playing Tomb Raider, and I'm just so much happier.
Yeah,
like just
Really?
yeah. So personally, for me, Tomb Raider is like set into like segments that drive you forward for a particular reason during that segment. that is much clearer than there is a map, there will be things, go out and find them.
I mean, open world games are all about creating your gaming session instead of being told what your gaming session is.
Exactly.
Some people are going to love that, some people aren't going to love it.
I think that's the thing.
And that's the thing that, like, when I say I'm not salty about this, because I think if you're an open world game, you should be exactly that. And if you are Fallout or Skyrim or a Bethesda game, like, I think like Bethesda are one of the only companies that can say we are an open world game.
Yeah.
What I do...
GTA.
Yeah, but...
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. That's
Metal Gear Solid 5.
I was going to say I would say that's not.
I think that was a big open world.
Yeah, it is. But like, this is where I get a bit salty. Is that games that don't have to be open world, trying to be open world.
Right.
That's what bothers me, and it bothered me with Batman Arkham City. And in fact, the Batman games, like after
the first one wasn't.
And that was like arguably the best game.
Absolutely.
And then they're like, "Oh, Arkham City's open world," and you kind of sit there and you're like, why? Like, I know that there are popular open world games out there, but why does your game need to be open world? And they kind of think that, like, they think that because it's open world, it's better. And that's not always the case. And that's, like, you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5 yet, but that is, it's open world, you have a big map, but you're always going, the mission is at this location, and then the mission is that location. And there's a linear story, right? Like, occasionally you can choose between 4 or 5 missions, but like, you're always progressing, and you progress through different locations. There's no reason that really needed to be open world.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And so, like, kind of Grand Theft Auto is a little bit like that. Like,
I see what you're saying. Because with Grand Theft Auto, while it is a big open world map, you can go anywhere and you can do anything at any time. There's nothing driving you to points.
No.
And it's not like, I'm going to go to this point and on the way someone needs help with this. They do have some events like that, but there's nothing fought like to the same level as a Bethesda. You
couldn't put 10 hours into Grand Theft Auto without only doing side quests and like having a good time.
GTA is a really weird one because I used to think that, and with GTA 5 I got to a point where I was just kind of like, okay, I need to go to this point, and all of a sudden I'd drive past like a little park and some people would be having some fun in there, so I just put my car in there, get out a petrol tank and douse it with petrol, make a little line of petrol, fire, like shoot it around into the petrol and let the fire go and blow up, people blow up. Stop, and didn't end up stealing your car, stole someone's push bike, and then started like biking over hills and stuff, trying to do ollie, like trying to jump the bike onto like cows. Like, and I managed to. There was like a dead, like a deer, I think it was, just on the road, and I'm cycling along. And they came down to it, and I'm just trying to bunny hop the bike onto this dead carcass, and this car comes up behind me. And it just like slows down, slowly goes around, and you can hear the guy in the car say something along like, "What the hell's happening here?" as he just drives off. And like at that point, I was like, "Actually, this is pretty open. Like this is actually you can do whatever you want."
It's true. It's true.
It's just not. It's not specifying this is a side quest or this is that. It is literally play. It's a sandbox.
That's a better term for it. It's a sandbox. You're out there and you're making your own fun. And you can do that for hours and create your own little stories. Like I remember San Andreas, like just biking up that hill and jumping off the top with a parachute.
That's pretty
you do that for,
and that's going to be Just Cause 3. That's going to be like, where it is.
Doing those things in a sandbox like that, making your own fun. That's one experience. But then what I consider an open world game is that, you know, like in Fallout, you actually find a whole city that has its own story.
It's a living, breathing environment.
And like you wouldn't have discovered that unless you made an effort to. You're never going to rock into a service station in Grand Theft Auto and all of a sudden, you know, the guy behind the counter's worried about his family, you know, help his family and stuff like that.
And if it is there, it's because it's a specific scripted, triggered event. And while you could argue it's the same in Fallout, it's a bit more larger in Fallout. You may not see that ever. But with Grand Theft Auto, if you go to a supermarket, like a petrol station, it would trigger and you'd be like, oh, it's happening now.
I make a very clear distinction between free roaming and open world. They're very different things to me. I'm with you on that description.
So open world games too open is when we've clarified that open world games we consider are the Bethesda style games and not so much the sandbox style games. Are they too open? Should there be more direction in Fallout?
I think so. Well, it just needs to have more importance to the story. One of my biggest issues with I'm gonna bundle both together in regards to story and side quests, because open world and free roaming both have your story and side quests. So my issue being, no matter how important your mission is, there's nothing stopping you from doing side quests, which kills the importance of whatever it is you're being asked to do. What I think it needs to happen is all those times where you see you look at the map and it's got all these points that you can go to and do these side quests, there needs to be points where they disappear. You cannot trigger a side quest because of how important the next step is. Or there needs to be a point where you finish something and they're like, GTA might be a better example of this, where they say, okay, well, our next heist isn't for 6 days. And so you've got 6 days to do whatever you want. 6 in-game days.
And then once the timer's up,
then you've got to be at that point.
You know what does a really good job of that whole dynamic is World of Warcraft. Where like the whole thing is kind of these little side quests that aren't really that important, but at the same time there's this overarching story that has priority and always kind of feels urgent. Like back when I haven't played since Wrath of the Lynch King, like you'll be doing quests and sometimes you'll be helping a guy like fishing. Like you've been doing these kind of quests, a lot of side quests, a lot of time going into it. But there was always that threat of this undead army taking over the world. And like the more you kind of leveled up, the more important that threat became until you were at the end of the game and you're starting to, meet the Lynch King in dungeons and like people are dying and like, so like maybe if in Fallout you had have escaped the vault not knowing anything. You don't know your son's gone. Like you had that first 10, 12 hours of the game where you're just exploring. And then you get to Diamond City. And then all of a sudden you find out he's still alive. And then the story starts
you
to
don't
get
find
more
out still alive from very
if
he even is.
So like, but you find out that, he might be.
So
like the story starts to develop as the game goes on and that urgency starts to come on.
Like the presence there is the Institute, and it's just not there at the beginning of the game. You just don't get it.
Because the problem with Fallout at the moment is there's a disconnect between the urgency of finding your son and the exploration. If there was no urgency,
I think that would have been a better way to make people interested in it. Like made it a complete mystery, as in like this guy has just ventured out. Holy shit! Let's explore and find out what's going on in this world. Oh, they took my son, but I suppose that's a hard thing to...
Like 10 hours in, you find a security tape from the vault. And then you find out, hey, he was kidnapped. And you find out once you've done all that exploring.
Like imagine your wife and child are dead, but you find out they actually came in and swiped him at something. See, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I think what you're talking about in terms of Warcraft is zoning, which works really well to their advantage. I mean, they can zone because they've got level requirements and things. You don't really have that in Fallout.
Well, you could.
You could,
but I think that would break Diamond City and post Diamond City.
You could. Again, I just think that would break what the fundamentals of Fallout really is, and you'd kill the fundamental game. I'd be more for something which says you have to play the story before you can access the open world. I'm more for let's guide you down a really heartfelt path with all these great characters, and then at the end say, you can find these characters again.
I think that'd be a worse game.
Yeah, I would switch off
because like you've got this massive environment that you can't do anything in other than, and so it's like yes, you can at a certain point at the end of the game, whatever. But it's just kind of like, well, once I'm finished with the story, there are gamers like me that once you finish with the story, you're done. And that's what's going to happen with Fallout 4. And I know that, and that's why I'm enjoying the exploration. And it's because the fear of once I get done, even if there's half of the map I haven't uncovered, it's too late. I've got other games to play.
That's kind of what's happening to me as well, I think. Like, obviously I like to build a house. But also, I'm not a completionist gamer. I'm not, but I want to explore I kind of have to make some kind of strategy for getting around the area that I'm in. I have to make sure I explore everything around what the mission is telling me to do. So if the mission's go to Diamond City, I'm I'm gonna walk around it forever until I've got everything from around it and then go there.
I think they could have gotten rid of the Sean storyline completely out of the game and have it so he doesn't have any driving force. He's just been released. Exactly, it feels like he's just been released out and now he's taking in the world. It would have been great to have that with hints of the Institute happening through stories that are just spread out across the world. I don't think. Maybe you get in the game, I might change my mind by the time I get to the end and go, now I see why they did the story that involved him hunting out his son. But none of us have the urgency of finding the sun. The story hasn't pushed for anything. And I think it's because the world is too open. The world is so open that I do not want a story.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the environment that they're giving me. I'm investigating parts of a game that I would not have investigated in any single player campaign.
Yeah.
I'm treating it like I am in a new world.
And then the things that you find, like this robot you found that wants a body, those are the stories you care about. Because it's the story that you've discovered and now it's developing into something much more than what it started.
And it didn't even start with that. It started with me finding her locked away in a part of a secret part of Vault 81, and she'd been in there without any human contact, and she wants to see the outside world. Cool. I've given her that. She's seen a bit, she's gotten into some skirmishes, and now she wants to be put in a human body. And it's just like, that came out of, I couldn't have even imagined that was in that vault when I first found it.
So they can do it, and they can do it well. So why haven't they done it with the main story?
Why do they need a main story is my argument.
Yeah.
Why don't they have an overarching thing like the Institute?
Because you need a climax.
Like World of Warcraft. But they can still be. Like, you can still have an overarching story that you need to discover.
I think there can be multiple climaxes. Yeah. Like you've got all these big cities that have all these big problems, and then they have a crescendo, maybe. They have a giant battle, or they have a cutscene or something that rounds them up. But I'm with you there very much. It's just create maybe 2 or 3 big stories that you can interact with, but lots of little cool things you can do, and no real. I mean,
why have an ending? It's a game that doesn't need an ending.
That is the thing, though. Like.
It's even more open, and we were saying it was already to it.
Yeah, it's like now, what is going to get you to go anywhere in the world? What makes you go one way than the other? It's now just random, and do you feel that drive to do anything in the world? Because I think going into the world knowing that you do actually have a purpose gives you a drive to experience the world. But without that drive...
But the drive of finding the sun...
never given me anything.
If that was true, I would have gone to Diamond City within the first hour.
Maybe.
Like, I find the Minutemen more compelling.
Me too. Because
like, he needs something.
Imagine instead of having to walk down to find the Preston and the Minutemen, it was legitimately the first thing you would see coming out of the vault. So that was like, these people need help, I'll help them, and now I'll carry on. And they tell you to go over here, and on your way there you find someone else who needs help over here. And so and you slowly uncover using terminals and all that kind of stuff, an overarching theme of something evil that's happening. You're right that it does end up. My issue with it being the open world being too open is that you lose the importance of the main story. Why have them? Why have that main story that most people are going to ignore for the side quests anyway?
True.
It's meant to be something important to the character that the character forgets completely about. And if you did that way where it literally had no end, you could just wrap up stories over and over. DLC could literally be they add another mile to the bottom of the map.
I like the idea of figuring out what your character is invested in through that beginning section. Which, I mean, they didn't really have much of a build-up like they did with Fallout 3, which was kind of cool. Like, you could really figure out what kind of person you were in that period of time. And that would have been cool to direct that as to what major story you follow, and that kind of thing would be really cool. But honestly, my openness for the story, my openness for open world games in general, isn't really tied to the story or what you can do in them. It's more tied to the mechanics, which is where you had most
Right.
If I hadn't explored so much and played a lot of Fallout 3 as what I had done before, I would never enjoy the game nearly as much. And I have played games which I don't know anything about, which I go into and I try to figure it out. I'm like, I shouldn't have to figure out what's going on here. It's a game. I'm supposed to be having fun. This is work. This is work. You have to press. It's not even let's go into the settings and look at what the options do. Like look what the buttons do. The buttons are one thing, but if I don't know to go into this menu option and then click this button,
because they do pop up some tips every now and then when you're doing stuff. So maybe it just needs a few more of those.
And at the same time, I know why they wouldn't do that so much. Embrace the immersion, whatever. But at the same time, I still want a compendium of information. You go there and you're like, oh, so I can actually build settlements.
It would be nice to not have to Google stuff. And there was times in this game where I felt like I definitely had to Google that to know it.
And actually, this is what stopped me making settlements, is when I got to defences, I didn't know you could assign people to and so I looked at the next best thing, and I went, let's build turrets, and it goes, oh, you need circuit boards. Well, I don't have any of them. There are none around my settlement. There are none in the immediate vicinity. I don't care anymore.
That's exactly what happened, because they wanted you to build a certain level of defence. And I did the same. Put up the guard posts and put in your turrets and make some build turrets.
You have some walls?
The other issue...
the cold coming in?
One of the other issues I had with just the openness of it is by the time I got to Diamond City, I had done 25 or so hours of exploring and understanding how this world works. So when I get into Diamond City and they're saying things like, oh, you know, it'll be X amount of caps, and my only responses from my character is, don't you take real money? It's like, I've just spent like weeks in this world bartering.
I'm the mayor of like 4 towns.
I have been selling and stealing caps and like, so it's kind of, it's weird that because I haven't followed the story they wanted me to get, I'm getting the information hours after I need it.
Yeah.
So there's probably there may be moments where you will be told to do something and you'll be like, oh, it'd be nice to have known that before I looked it up on the net.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, it just comes down to being, it's too open. If you want me to learn something, don't tie it to the story. Make it just part of the world, I guess.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be about understanding the game that you're making. And I think that Bethesda usually do it really well. They've done it with everything. Like, it seems like they've done it perfectly with all parts of this game, apart from the main story.
Yeah.
And the main story is like, it just seems tacked in there.
But at the same time, us three can't say much about the story.
Because maybe it's only the pacing of the beginning of the story. Maybe that's the only problem. Right?
Yeah.
Second half of the story is very interesting. You get more into it.
Do you think it gets faster? Or
it does get faster. Yeah,
okay.
The build up it takes ages. Like even when you get to Diamond City and you do the first, I think 2 or 3 quests in there, you're still not really doing anything associated to the sun.
So I don't think they should have sent you to Diamond City to start with. They should have made that a quest later on down the track.
It was really interesting because if you think back to Fallout 3, when you emerge from the vault, your vault is kind of almost in the middle of the map. And so you can go in whatever direction you want. But one of the first things that you see is Megaton. So most people go to Megaton. And that's where the story starts. So they pushed you there whether you knew it or not. You thought you were just discovering something, but you had to go there for the story. You could have gone anywhere. I thought this was interesting where they put your vault at the top left of the map, and you can only go one way, and I still haven't been there for 26 hours. You know?
Yeah. But that's what's good about the game, right?
Where have you on the map? Are you doing it systematically, or are you just going wherever
I am literally going, I'm walking, and something will fade onto the compass, and I'm like, that's where I'm off to.
Don't you just end up in areas that are way too high level for...
And I did that once.
There's not really leveling in the game.
Yeah, I thought there was something that was too high level, but then I realised once I went back and fought them, I could have taken them out. And that was when I just saw a super mutant. I'd forgotten what sort of... I didn't know what level difficulty they would be in this one. So I thought, I don't feel like I'm strong enough to take them on. I'm going to go somewhere else.
There's a tiny aspect that's level, but a lot of it is actually more to do with damage resistance and things like that. So apparently since they're really vulnerable to laser weapons and... And like turrets, if you want to kill turrets, you just use a handgun. It'll kill them so quickly, but if you use anything else, it's pretty much useless.
So it's all about what you use.
So how do you know that?
By experimenting, you know, it's the open world sandbox.
It's kind of fun in that sense, but you'd love to be able, like, can I just go to a place to find, like, where maybe if I killed one before accidentally with a gun, can you tell me what that did?
Finding
out sort of data. Again, it's that like manual type. Like, maybe you fill in a manual.
A beautiful From Software make beautiful open world games, and like the Dark Souls games are just done so well because from as soon as you get out. As soon as you're in, like, through the tutorial into the world, you can go anywhere. But you can't go anywhere.
You cannot go anywhere.
You can go anywhere, but
you will die.
But you will die, and if you just play the game naturally, you won't end up in those places. Like the level design is just done in such a good way that you will always just kind of subconsciously go the way that the game has told you to go.
Unless you're the type of person that doesn't go the way the game's telling you.
But they just and they crush you so hard if you go the wrong way that you know it's not the right way. So you get out, you go down a wrong set of stairs, and it's like a mortal man, like a set of skeletons that can't die. So you're like, that's not the way to go. And then like, so you find out later on you need like a special blessed weapon to actually go down.
I feel like that was kind of a double-edged sword for Dark Souls 1 because I went through believing in that situation. I went down the thing, got to the ghost people, I can't kill them. Went to the tome area, can't really kill them or deal with like they're all just resurrecting stuff. Then I went up to Undead Bird and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty easy. And then Taurus Demon, and it's just like so when I got to that tower,
that was the right way.
When I got to the tower, it was the right way, and it's really hard because you get to this tower, you go up and you verse Taurus Demon, you're like, nope, and you go down. You go down to the bottom, and there's a tiny dude, and you're like, this must be it. Like he's just tiny, he's useless. He is about 10 times stronger than friggin' Taurus Demon. With this big tooth, and he's just. Like,
you must have got the master key because that door doesn't usually open.
Oh no, you go. There's no door to go down the bottom. You do need the key to get back in from the other side.
Yeah.
So when you defeat Harold, you can go through that door. I think maybe you can't, but you can come through from the other side, which is the garden, which is past the Torch Demon. So that's like spoilers. Anyone who hasn't played Dark Souls,
You should. It's great.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's really good.
And I had to watch videos to know that I had to go that way. Like I was like, okay, so I have to fight Taurus Demon. Yeah. And of course, getting the gold risen helped a lot, and I had to know to get a gold risen. It's just like
interesting.
I was just thinking we should probably wrap up the conversation.
Yeah. Oh,
so do you think open world games are too open?
I think if they're I don't. I think if they're supposed to be an open world game, then they should be open.
Yeah.
I don't
despite the issues that we've all sort of laid out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's why you buy it and what you're in for.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to pander to the people that don't like open world games.
Yeah.
If I don't like open world games, then the game's not for me. Don't make it my kind of game.
Yeah.
Make it for your fans, your open world fans. And the same goes for the others. Like, if I enjoy a linear story Batman game, don't make it open world. Don't pander to them. Make the game for the people that like it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think you changed my stance. I thought it was too open, but perhaps it's just my preference that it not be, and that I shouldn't change it for that reason.
I think current gen open world games are too open in the sense that they don't tell you enough about what you can do with the game. You have to explore too much, and you have to experiment too much, and it's sort of like, well, if you don't experiment in the right way, you just miss out on half the game, right? And you have to research it. Yeah. And I feel like that's a letdown that will build better into development, and there are games that have done it very well. But I think there's more that we could evolve into in better ways that we could teach people how to experience the full side of the game. You know?
What was like the first open world game?
Probably like the original GTA top-down games.
So it's like 90 and 90s.
No, there was old school.
I think GTA 1 and 2, right?
The original Elder Scrolls must have been.
Yeah. Actually, depends.
The original Fallout.
I'm just wondering if they're still kind of finding.
What about Zork? That's like the first game.
That's kind of open world.
Yeah, first text story open world kind of game.
I think open world games are too open. I think until they figure out a new way of doing storytelling, I think they'll continue being too open. They need to figure out something. I like the idea of that World of Warcraft zoning thing. So you've got that overall thing, and when you get to a certain point, the
threat becomes real.
Yeah, something happens, and then all of the people that you've already met are acting differently now. I think there needs to be a new sort of almost like merging the two. Fallout with some sort of overarching thing instead of that linear story that cuts through it all. Would be great. Yeah.
Fair points.
All right, so that's pretty salty.
That was real salty.
That was good.
Did we go from the podcast, or are we wrapping up now?
I think we're wrapping up now. So
we've got some videos that we'll be bringing out.
Yes, we're going to have a Fallout, as we've discussed, and probably a Battlefront Fallout.
Battlefront. Spoilers. Oh no, should I do it? I love that game.
So that'll be coming out soon. We are playing that.
Spoiled.
And a little bit further yonder of that, we'll have a Tomb Raider Yana as well, which will be coming. We're going to do a little something about Just Dance 2016 because I love it.
And I hope these guys.
And hopefully I'm going to have some friends to join me. And just to quickly mention, it was the second wing of the new Hearthstone expansion that released this week. So we care and these guys don't. So we thought that once all the wings were out, we'll do a bit of a chat about
it. It's pretty and they make good animations.
Thanks, Theo.
And if you're in Wellington, we'll do an event, right, Theo?
Yeah, so we're going to have another Hearthstone meetup. But yeah, that just about covers everything for this week. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
Comment, tell us what you think.
If you've got any questions, just chuck them our way, either via Twitter or through the YouTube comments.
We'd love to do another question time at the end of
the
next video. Yeah. Cool, well, have a good week.
Alright, see ya.
What was the overarching threat for